Okay, hi. This is probably going to be my last video for today, so this is a one that's more toward Bold and the Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to focus on that soap opera. All right. I'm just gonna focus on. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna focus on this week and maybe a little bit of the last week, but I'll see how far I get. And plus, like I said before, I don't want to make these videos too long. So, because I could talk endlessly about things that are just incongruent or they don't make sense to me at all. Okay. Okay. And for disclaimer, like I said before, I separate the character from the actor. So just because I talk about a character doesn't mean I don't like the actor who portrays him or actress who portrays him. Okay? Okay. So let's talk about Ridge. Because Ridge got a visceral reaction from me today. And really for the last week. Um, I don't know. Um, okay. Rich Forrester is the son of Eric Forrester, along with Rick and Bridget, and they got a bunch of people in the Forrester family. Zende is adopted, so yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk about just what's going on right now. I mean, currently. Today and for the last, I don't know how long this storyline with the Eric's dying been going on for like a month. Okay. Um. All right. Well, first of all, uh, I knew that something was going on with him. Oh, and just for clarity's sake, okay. I know I had said that he signed a contract, and I thought he signed it last year for 3 years, but it turned out he signed the contract 3 years ago. So I don't think he's going to be on contract at some point this year, but although I don't know the date. So when I thought he was on contract, his contract might be expiring. So therefore, okay. But okay. Um I have to put everything in the bucket because I have to make a rational conclusion here. Okay, so Eric got sick and Eric started having trouble, like slight difficulty. Tremors in his hands, and he couldn't draw, and then he had TIA, strokes. And then when he started coughing up blood that day, that first day he started coughing up blood, I'm like, oh no, he's going. Because when you start coughing up blood, I don't care what it is, you're not going to make it too long. Um, but okay. So then Eric, being the proud person he is, he didn't want anyone to know he was sick because he didn't want anyone to take pity on him and, you know, start crying all over him and that kind of stuff. Okay, I get it. So then he swears RJ and Donna to secrecy. He's like, don't tell anybody I'm sick. I don't want them to know. So, okay, you give a secret like that to a 20-something-year-old kid and you say, don't tell anybody. And this includes your mother and your father and everybody. Just don't tell anybody. Okay. So then RJ keeps the secret, although he tells one person besides them. But outside the circle, I mean, he tells Luna, which that's a little sketch. Anyway, because Luna is a pretty new character, and to trust her with family information, what if she's not who you think she is or something? So that's a little bit like, okay. But anyway, so he tells Luna, And then he doesn't tell anybody else. And then people just find out that over time. So I have to put into the bucket of analysis that Ridge did not know his father was dying. However, today everything came to a head, and RJ finally told people his grandfather's dying. Okay? And like I said before in my last video, Ridge, well, in my video about Bolt, the reason why I don't care for the character of Ridge too much is because he gives me the air of self-importance and he talks over people, which is not attractive anyway. But then also he thinks that his stuff is like more important than what you're talking about. Here you are. Okay, let's break it down. Here you are. Your son is trying to tell you something, and you're so preoccupied and whatever with over here that has nothing to do with it that you just don't listen until he basically says, "Shut up," without saying that. And you say, "Okay, what?" Then he tells you. Then you break down because it hits you like a ton of bricks. But where was that before? I mean, okay, I understand he should have told you, I guess. But he was honoring his grandfather's wishes, number one. Number two, maybe if you'd been more receptive, maybe he would have been more open to tell you stuff. So there's that too. Okay, but let me just say, and this is a blanket statement, and I know I shouldn't make these, but if you're going to do this to Eric, I want to see a major family presence. And I'm talking about people that I haven't seen before. Rick and Bridget and whoever, like the people you don't see who are supposed to be foresters. If this is a family disaster and the father, the patriarch, is going to leave, please take that into major consideration and treat it kindly. I don't want to see him just go with nobody there. You know what I mean? That's not what I want. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not a writer. I have no control over these things, but that's something I want to see. And to be clear, I wanted to see Rick for a while now because I want to see what he's been up to or whatever, and if he cares about his father so much. I mean, he's Eric Forrester Jr., for Christ's sake. Put him on the campus. Invite him over for a week or something. Can't you hire somebody to portray Rick? I mean, you had Jacob Young there before. So, I don't know. It's an idea. All right. Bye, guys.